Hey everyone, Theo here, director of But They Did, the re-entry of the Pike River Mine. You're about to watch a little behind the scenes video featuring some unseen footage, a modern day interview with Anna and Sonya and myself, and a couple other tidbits. But before you see that, I just need to say a huge thank you to you all. The response to this film has been unbelievable. We've just surpassed 10,000 views on YouTube and we are rapidly moving up. We never would have expected that when we made this film. We thought we'd be lucky to get 100. 10,000 is so amazing. It's so far past what the usual response is to a New Zealand documentary, and I cannot thank you all enough. I also want to thank Anna and Sonya. Not only were they in the film, they've done an amazing job at helping promote the film and sharing it on all their social medias and just telling people about it. They are amazing, and I truly love them. If you want to help the film, thank you. That means so much to us. We put But They Did on YouTube because we didn't plan on making much, if any, money from it. The goal is that it gets seen by the most people possible. So if you want to help the film, the best way is by sharing it. Share on your social medias, tell your friends and family, share the link to the YouTube. We want everyone possible to see this film. You can also help by engaging with the film. That really helps the algorithms tell people that it's a film they want to watch. So leave it a like, stick a comment under it, saying good things. Leave a review on Letterboxd. No matter how you want to engage with the film, it is so appreciated by us and it really helps the film. So thank you once again, and I hope you enjoy this little behind the scenes glimpse at how we made But They Did. Kia ora, my name is Theo Sutorius. I'm the director of But They Did, the re-entry of the Pike River Mine. But They Did started filming when I was 16, nearly 7 years ago today. I think it's interesting watching the film because it's almost a bit of a snapshot, because we can watch it now when the situation has changed so much. Anna and Sonya are basically movie stars now. The movie Pike River came out a couple of months ago to both rave reviews, and it's sitting number one in the box office still. And it's, you walk around with Anna and Sonya and they get recognised everywhere they go.
I think it's quite remarkable in a way that when we filmed our doco 7 years ago, we were able to film in a public cafe with hundreds of people walking past you guys, no clue how you are. I genuinely believe if we did that now, you'd have to stop every 10 minutes for people stopping you guys.
Oh, maybe. I mean, we've had a few looks and that, but we mainly get more looks when we're together.
Yeah.
I mean, I do get people looking at me from time to time, and obviously at work, everybody knows.
7 years ago, I'd tell my friends about Pike River, and no one knew what it was. My age, people knew that there was an explosion, but they didn't know what was happening with it. Whereas now, I think it's just so common knowledge in the public zeitgeist. The original purpose of But They Did was to kind of educate people about Pike River. But I think now the purpose is more to show a real version of Anna and Sonya and show kind of who they are and what they went through, to show kind of the real them. You see a lot of them in media and glimpses of them in different shows and movies and on TV, and you kind of think you know them, and you probably do. They're pretty genuine, but really, I had been given this privileged position of being able to hang around them for so long that I kind of wanted people to see them from how I see them, from my perspective, just kind of the fly on the wall. The two biggest compliments my film has ever received were both from Anna and Sonya. The first was that it's their third favourite film they've ever been in, which sounds bad, but for them that's a huge compliment. They've been in quite a lot of films. And they also told me that it was the most real they've ever felt on camera, which is exactly what I was going for, and so that means so much to me. That's a huge compliment.
All they see on the news is, little bits, but you never get the full story. It's just little, sound bites, and people get to see the movie, and I've had people say to me that they've thought that, we should have just moved on years ago and just put it behind us, and they've seen the movie and completely changed their mind.
So I do think it's a bit of a shame that But They Did has taken 7 years to make, but at the same time I think it does give a really interesting snapshot as to what it looked like during the campaign to re-enter the mine.
There's been a few people that have made some nasty comments online saying that I'm just in it for the attention and the money. Well,
Money?
hello, love.
What money?
Ain't no money
Where
involved.
do we find that?
And as far as the attention goes, well, if the attention means that I'm getting the message out there about the fact that my son, aged 21, was killed in a mine that shouldn't have in an accident that shouldn't have happened, then okay.
We make no apologies.
Yeah, I'm not
Absolutely
apologising
no.
for that at
No.
all. And I think that people who make those sorts of comments have bad hearts. And perhaps if they go and see the movie, then they might think differently.
It's those people with those sorts of comments that put that fire in my belly, and I just think, oh, up you.
Yeah.
We're going to keep fighting and tough.
Yeah.
We've come this far, and we're doing it not just for the 29 families. We're doing this for all of New Zealand.
Anna and Sonya have now made it their life's mission to fight for workers and fight for workplace health and safety. Anna's retired and puts so much of herself into this, and Sonya has to balance this and working. The passion that they have for this and for making sure that no other family has to go through what they went through is truly remarkable.
It's important to Sonya and I that everyone comes home after their day at work, and that's no longer a given in New Zealand. No longer a given. So, for us, it's something that really is dear to our heart. We don't want anyone to go through what we've been through, and we don't want people to be ignored the way that we have been ignored. And so we will continue to fight until we get what we want, because we're not going to let this rest. So yeah, we're very capable of making people listen to us. I think if I had to say anything to the people watching this, no matter how old you are, is if you believe in something hard enough and long enough, go for it. Don't be scared that you're a small person in a big world, Just have the passion to speak out against the wrongs. The squeaky wheel will always get the attention.
So what are you guys hoping to accomplish now that Pike River's kind of winding down a bit? What's the next steps?
Well, hopefully we can wind the health and safety back if the present government does what they've said they're going to do and waters it down. So hopefully we can stop that from happening, and also push for corporate manslaughter, and hopefully have some charges against some people being laid by the police.
Because in New Zealand at the moment you can kill 29 men and walk away scot-free. There is no charge for killing anybody in the workplace as far as Pike River is concerned. We are hoping that things have gotten better, but the very laws we helped create and strengthen are now being watered down by this government, and I fear that another Pike River is going to happen. That really, really concerns me. We are going to be visiting Brooke Van Velden later on this afternoon. She holds a health and safety portfolio. Looking forward to meeting her and getting to know her a bit better. We've met with Winston this morning, and also Kevin Haig from the Greens. And yesterday we spoke with Camilla from the Labour Party. So it's been quite a worthwhile trip so far, but I guess the one I'm waiting for is the one this afternoon with Brooke Van Velden.
I think what people don't know about Anna and Sonya is they're so constantly busy. Like, they've got no time in their schedule, especially when they're in Wellington, which is where I'm based. And so I really had to fit in wherever I can. And I ended up kind of making a deal with them that I could just tag along wherever they went. That way I could film them and just kind of squeeze into their schedule whenever to get a quick interview or to, get a piece of footage that I needed. And the initial interview that you see in the film, when we're sitting outside a cafe, was one of those occasions where they'd just been into an interview with media and they had a meeting with the Prime Minister straight after. And so I had about a 30-minute window to try to fit in this big interview talking about their entire experience with the Pike River mine, with constant interruptions, and it wasn't the best environment. On top of that, I was 16 at the time, and I, despite being very cocky, was not a very good filmmaker. So I had all sorts of technological issues. Quite hard actually for me looking at But They Did now, because it's not the kind of quality footage that I'd produce nowadays. However, I think in a way it's quite charming. You know, I filmed But They Did when I was 16. It was just squeaky voiced me and my little DSLR camera and shotgun mic, thinking I knew everything about documentary filmmaking and I was an expert. And it's quite hard, actually, for me to both watch the film but also listen to myself back then. I look back on myself and cringe quite a lot, I might say. I think that interview is actually a bit of a summary of the film. You know, it started out very kind of uptight. They were acting like they would do to most media. Whereas by the end of the interview, we were just cracking jokes and having fun and you know, being real. And I think that's where the film takes you to. It starts, you know, quite professional, and at the end of the film, you see who Anna and Sonya are, I think.
Put yourselves in, at the end of that interview we had 7 years ago, when you got up from the table 2 weeks before the planned re-entry was then cancelled and then started again, and the actual re-entry. Where did you guys think you would be on the 15th anniversary of Pike Mine, and do you think you would have accomplished all that?
Certainly not here, eh?
No. We would have, I mean, if we hadn't done what we have done, the mine would have been sealed.
That's right.
Many years ago. There would be no possible prosecutions. There would be no one challenging the watering down of the health and safety laws. Put yourself in our shoes. If it were your husband or your son that this had happened to, I'm damn sure you'd be doing exactly the same as us. So, yeah, suck it up, Buttercup. This is what we're doing, and
Bloody
we are
oath.
not going to stop until we get what we want.
Hell yeah.
What is it that you want?
Justice.
Accountability. And
Truth.
we want better laws in New Zealand. We want to make sure that those in high places who get paid extremely well for being CEOs and managers of companies actually are the ones that get prosecuted. And you know, I want people to realise that the fish rots at the head, and if you cannot sleep at night because of the health and safety laws that we want to strengthen, that's your fault, because you shouldn't need to lose sleep over something if it was done correctly in the first place. So yeah, suck it up, Buttercup, you're damn straight.
You know, I think when you see Anna and Sonya in the media and on TV, they can seem a little bit almost scary, like they're so mission focused, but the truth is they're really funny.
Actually cares about everybody. Are you filming this?
It's been filming since I put it up.
How long?
The whole time.
5 minutes.
I thought he was only joking.
I was seeing on it.
But do you know what, all jokes aside, it is important that Anna and I get to laugh and talk bullshit about all this sort of stuff, because otherwise the pressure and stress would get to you.
This is such good stuff. This is like what I need. Hold on 10 seconds, I just got it working.
It's true though.
Oh yeah, I can totally see why.
Yeah,
I mean,
because we've been feeling quite, you know, we've had lots of anxiety and stress in that over the last few weeks. And sometimes you need to be a dick and say stupid stuff and do stupid stuff. That's like a stress relief, don't you reckon?
Hell yeah, if you don't laugh, we'd still be friggin' miserable. We've got to find a laugh.
Yep.
Well, already?
Oh, well, never mind, it's life.
Oh, you put your big freaking mitts on it.
Goodbye.
Well, good to see someone cares, eh?
I dare you to put that in, so.
This is the bloopers. It's going to be an hour of bloopers. 8 minutes of real
film, hour of bloopers.
Oh my god.
The most fun I ever have is when I am with Anna and Sonya, the guys, and they make a lot of jokes, and I tried to put a few of them into the film to kind of show the real them, but you know, they are really funny people, and they are people. That's what they are. You know, we showed things that maybe aren't shown as much, such as behind the scenes of media, traveling from place to place, lots of just chatting crap, you know, and I put a lot of jokes in there because that's how it's like. That's what it's like. It's a fun, good environment. Anna and Sonya are truly funny, and hanging around with them is so much fun. So the film wrapped about 7-ish years ago, right after the re-entry, and we went into the edit. It took about 3 months, and we were really pleased with how it was going. And then right before, I think it was about a week or two before it was meant to be done, we had a catastrophic computer error. And I think everyone that has ever been involved in filmmaking heard the words catastrophic computer error and stiffened up. Basically, the film was lost. Every ounce of footage that we had was gone and deleted off the computer. The whole cut was gone. Everything we had done, everything we had filmed was completely gone. The feeling that I had at that time is hard to describe. And especially at the time, this was my first ever film, ever. And, you know, for me to have made this thing that I was so proud of and then lose it was so heartbreaking. Fast forward a little bit, and earlier this year in 2025, I was looking through my computer and I found a version of the film. It was a very old version, one that I had submitted to a school project at the time, which got an A+, so, you know. But it was a lot shorter than the original version was, and it was older, and there was spelling mistakes, and it just wasn't good on a lot of levels. But at the end of the day, it was the only remnants I had of But They Did. And so Anna and Sonya had actually never seen the film, so I sent it to them for a bit of a watch, not thinking anything of it. And then 20 minutes later, they both called me saying how much they loved it, that they didn't think the film would be anything like that they didn't realise that's the film I was making, but they were so pleased I did. And both of them asked me to put it out there, and that they said they wanted to share it. So suddenly the film was back on. So after sending them the film and getting such glowing feedback and them asking me to release it, we had to pick a date for release. And so after consulting with them and a few other people, we decided that the 15th anniversary would be a good date. And so that gave me a hard deadline to try and remaster the film and make it as good as possible. I probably spent hundreds of hours trying to fix what was a really, really not great looking piece of media. It had been warped, there were sound issues. I could go in the tech specs, but just know this was a 19-minute thing, which was not good. And about a month before release, I was not very pleased with the film in a number of respects. I felt like I was letting the girls down by not being able to release the film in the quality it should be. So I decided to have one last look through a whole bunch of backup hard drives, and I actually ended up finding a good chunk of the original footage that I shot, about 90% of it. I was faced with this really hard decision of, okay, either I just accept the one that we've made already, it's done, it can go, or I spend what is going to be about a month's work to remake the entire film from scratch. And we chose to do that. The entire film was remade from scratch and cut by myself. And yeah, it was a lot of work, but I'm much more pleased with how the film turned out. It feels more like the film is what it should be than what it was originally.
What have been some of the highlights since the re-entry?
Oh look, there's been many highlights. Just knowing the amount of support we still have from people around our country. We have been embraced by so many people and encouraged to carry on our fight, and you know, the support that they have for us is incredible. And yeah, it's been overwhelming. So we've been really blessed to have some awesome people that have opened their arms and they've actually said, what can we do to help? So you know, that makes us want to carry on, eh? Yep.
And we've been round to lots of places all around New Zealand, which has been really good, and we've realised that we've actually got a whole heap of support around New Zealand that we actually didn't realise we had. So now that's made us feel like, you know, we want to carry on and do more, and so we're going to stand up and make sure that we're listened to, and if they don't listen to us, then we'll start our campaign again. And they'll be seeing a lot more of us. We actually didn't do this for any kind of recognition. It's just the right thing to do. And knowing that my man was killed and Sonia's son was killed and no one being held to account is appalling. It's disgusting. And, you know, this is New Zealand. It shouldn't happen. But here we are on the anniversary of our men's death,
still trying to fight for some justice for them. Instead of being at home commemorating our men the way we want to, we're actually here in Wellington talking to politicians who should know better.
And the biggest thing I had always in my head when making But They Did was I wanted to honour both the men and their families, you know. But They Did might follow Anna and Sonya, but it was a bigger story than that. And, you know, I really tried to pay tribute to both the men and all the families in their fight and their struggles as best I could. And But They Did was dedicated to the Pike 29, which is, I think, very important for that film. You know, even though But They Did's finished, I'm still really close with Anna and Sonya. I've known them half my life, and they are truly family to me. You know, I saw them when they were up here last week, and I'm sure I'll see them again early next month. I think we have loose plans for me to go stay at Anna's house at some point. And that's how they are, you know, they're my family. I call them my other mothers for a reason. They really are family to me, and I truly, truly love them both. So yeah, look, this is the end of But They Did for me. And that's a bit weird. It's been 7 years in the making. I hope someone watches it. You're not going to have to wait long for your next documentary from both GN Studios and myself. We're actually just about to wrap filming on our next feature film. It's actually our first ever feature film, Us and Them. Us and Them explores the relationship that humans have with nature. We've interviewed politicians, scientists, activists, experts, all with people with different views to try and kind of uncover why it seems to be this us and them relationship instead of an us with them. It has been quite the interesting project to work on so far, you might say. I'm really excited to be able to release some more information about that in coming months. So please, if you'd like to know more about that, follow us on social media or subscribe to our YouTube. There'll just be a few other little bits and pieces coming out on our YouTube channel before then. And yeah, I'm really excited to share what we've got next. So one last huge thank you to Anna, Sonya, the Pike River families, anyone really that made this film happen. It means so much. And also a huge thank you to anyone that decides to watch it. It means so much to me that we've finally gotten this film out there, and I'm so excited that people can finally see it. So look, if you haven't already, go watch But They Did. Otherwise, see you guys in the next project.